Have you ever felt like there's an invisible observer tracking your every move? The truth is even stranger. The observer isn't just watching you. It's becoming you. And the moment you see this, your entire reality begins to shift. In quantum physics, there's something called the observer effect. Simply by being present, the observer changes the outcome of an experiment. It's no longer random. No longer just wave or particle. Consciousness makes the call. In spirituality, that observer goes by many names: the soul, the higher self, pure awareness. It doesn't judge you. It doesn't control you. It lives through you. So what if quantum science and ancient wisdom are pointing to the same truth? What if you're not just a small individual trying to get through the day, but the observer itself, incarnating as the experience called you? Stay with me. In the next few minutes, you won't just hear a theory. You'll open a door and see yourself in a completely new way. What if you aren't merely living, but being observed from within? Picture this: you're in a movie theater. On the screen, images, sound, drama, emotion. You laugh, you cry, your heart races. But have you noticed? The movie only exists because of the light from the projector behind you. Without that light, it's just a blank white screen. Your life works the same way. Events, feelings, thoughts, pain, joy, these are the film. The observer, the light, shines through every scene you're living. When you worry about the future, there's a quiet part of you that notices. I'm worrying. When you're angry, there's a whisper. I'm feeling anger. That part doesn't get swept away. It just observes. That is the observer, what science calls consciousness, what spirituality calls the soul. Quantum experiments show that when something is observed, its nature changes. A particle is no longer a wave of possibilities. It becomes a specific point in space. This reveals a startling idea: reality shows up because it's observed. So, can you feel it? You're not only living in the world. You are helping the world appear through your observing. You're like a mirror. Every image, sadness, joy, struggle, celebration, shows up on it. But the mirror is never stained by what it reflects. The observer is the same, always pristine, never wounded, no matter how dramatic your story becomes. So who is this observer really? Is it just a mystical metaphor? Or does science have something to say? Let's step into the most famous quantum experiment, where this secret was exposed. There's a simple experiment that shook modern physics. And it revealed this: the mere presence of an observer changes reality. It's called the double-slit experiment. Scientists fire electrons at a barrier with two narrow slits. When there's no observation, the electron doesn't pick one slit. It behaves like a wave, moving through both, creating an interference pattern, like overlapping ripples on water. In other words, it exists in many possibilities at once. But the moment a measuring device looks, the electron chooses. No more wave. No more many. It becomes a single, definite particle. Observation forces reality to take a shape. Imagine walking into a dark room. With the lights off, the chair could be anywhere, left corner, right corner, you don't know. Flip on the light, make an observation, and instantly the chair is there. Reality isn't fixed. It trembles with possibilities. Only when it's observed does one possibility become real. Think about a career decision. You're split between staying or taking a new job. In the quantum field, both possibilities exist. But when you place your attention, your observation, and then act, that reality collapses into your life. Which leads to a powerful conclusion. Your observing, your consciousness, is actively shaping the world you live in. But that's just the science. For thousands of years, spiritual teachers have said the same thing. When you learn to observe, you discover who you really are. So who is the observer in spiritual language, and how does it relate to you? If you are not what you think, who are you? Across India, Tibet, Zen, masters have pointed to the same inner reality. The inner observer. When you meditate and watch your thoughts, you notice a presence within you. Quiet, aware, untouched. When you're angry, there's a subtle moment that recognizes. Anger is here. When you're happy, there's a gentle voice. Happiness is happening. That recognizing presence is the observer. Spiritual traditions give it many names. The soul, the higher self, the true self, pure awareness. Whatever the label, it doesn't judge or control, it simply is. Maybe you're stuck in anxiety. Your mind loops. What if I fail? What if I lose everything? And yet, inside, something remains steady, clear, watching the storm. That is the observer, never harmed by emotional weather. Think of your mind as the sky. Clouds can be dark or white, calm or stormy. But the sky itself? Vast. Unchanging. The observer is the sky. Thoughts and feelings are passing clouds. They come and go. The observer remains, still and infinite. Quantum says, the observer decides, wave or particle. Spirituality says, the observer decides who you are, moment to moment. Two different paths, one shared truth. How do we notice the observer in daily life? There are subtle signs, repeating patterns, as if the universe is whispering. Hey, remember, there's an observer within you. We call them déjà vu, repeating numbers, vivid dreams. Have you kept seeing 1111? Or felt a sharp déjà vu? I've lived this scene before. That's not random. That's the observer's whisper. Everyday life is full of moments science doesn't fully explain. Spirit calls them wake-up signals. Déjà vu, you walk into a new room and somehow know you've been there. It may be the observer reminding you that reality isn't strictly linear, it loops. 1111 and repeating numbers, you check your phone, it's 1111. Hours later, a license plate reads 1111. They're not just numbers. They're signals, a nudge that you're plugged into the field. Strange, hyperreal dreams. Sometimes dreams feel like parallel lives. The observer often uses dreams as a window to speak to you. You think of an old friend, and moments later they text. You feel called to take a different route home, then you avoid an accident and meet an opportunity. These coincidences are synchronicities, meaningful alignments. They're arrangements by the observer to help you remember, everything is connected. Imagine your life as a video game. Every now and then, glowing icons pop up, an NPC drops a hint, a treasure appears at exactly the right moment. Déjà vu 1111 synchronicities. These are your waypoints from the observer. Notice how you feel when they happen. It's not just curiosity, there's a hum beneath it, a sense of something bigger moving with you. You're not alone. You're linked with a higher intelligence. So where is the observer anyway? Outside, watching from a distance? Or is it more like a mirror, reflecting everything you live? Stand in front of a mirror and ask, is that really you? Or just a reflection of something deeper? The image looks real, your face, hair, eyes. But you know it's not you. It's a reflection made by light. So it is with life. Experiences, emotions, this body, reflections in the mirror. The observer is the light that makes every reflection possible. Smile in the mirror, the image smiles. Look sad, the image looks sad. Shatter the mirror, and you remain intact. Life can crack and shake, yet the observer within you is untouched. Picture yourself as a projector, and the world as a white screen. Work, love, pain, joy, images flickering by. But the light from the projector, the observer, is pure, constant, never bent by the film. See it now? What you identify with, body, emotions, memories, are reflections. What you truly are, the observer, has never been lost. This is why so many traditions teach. You are not the body. You are the light shining through the body. If the observer is light, where does the light come from? Enter one of science's deepest ideas, the quantum field. What if I told you that you, me, and everything in the universe aren't separate? That we're waves on the same ocean of energy? It sounds mystical, but modern physics is pointing there. Beneath particles, there are no isolated little things. Electrons, photons, protons are ripples of one field. Everything you see, your body, planets, the sky, is woven from a single energetic fabric. Think of a vast ocean. The surface is covered with waves, tall, small, gentle, fierce. But all of them are water. A wave might claim, "I'm separate. I'm different from the others." But the truth is, every wave belongs to the same sea. You, me, all life, waves in the quantum ocean. Ever meet a stranger and feel like you've known them forever? That's resonance, your wave attuning to theirs. Think of someone and they instantly message you? Not luck, fields syncing at the same frequency. If everything is one field, the observer isn't merely inside you. The observer is the field itself, living as you. That's why in deep meditation, the sense of separation dissolves. You become one with sound, with breath, with space. It isn't fantasy. It's the underlying truth of reality. So look again. Fear, loneliness, separation, illusions. Underneath, you are connected, held inside a larger wholeness that can't be broken. That's the observer's message. You are not just a small wave. You are the ocean. If we truly belong to that infinite ocean, what happens when we learn to let go? Can we find freedom from anxiety, fear, and the invisible chains we carry? Most of our suffering doesn't come from events. It comes from our grip on them. And if you're not the one who suffers, but the observer witnessing the experience, then what? We fuse ourselves to roles. I'm a failure. I'm a victim of circumstance. I'm not enough. But those are mind-made stories. The pure part of you, the observer, has never been limited by any story. When you remember you're the observer, letting go happens naturally. Not giving up, letting go of the grip, the mistaken identity. Someone insults you, you feel anger. But there's a tiny moment where the observer notes. That's just sound. That's a body reaction. You stumble at work, the mind says, "I'm useless." The observer watches without judgment. When you live from the observer, pain may still arise, but it loses the power to cage you. Picture gripping a rope. The tighter you squeeze, the deeper the pain. Open your hand, and the pain drops away. Suffering isn't from the rope, it's from the grip. In the quantum field, all possibilities exist. If you cling to one script, success must look like this, only with this person can I be happy. You lock yourself in. Let go, and 1,000 doors appear. Then the universe can move to bring you what truly fits. Freedom isn't controlling everything. It's recognizing you were never chained. You are not your wounds. You are not your past. You are the observer, ever free, everlasting, unchanging. Live from that place and something curious happens. Coincidences start to bloom, as if the universe is arranging things just for you. These aren't accidents, they're synchronicities. Have you ever had so many odd alignments that you asked, "Is this random, or is the universe texting me?" In spiritual language, they're meaningful alignments, signals from the observer, reminding you, everything connects. You think of an old friend, and they call. You're torn about a decision, and a sign on the highway speaks the exact words you needed. You dream something, and it unfolds the next week. These moments are cracks in the curtain of reality, where the observer whispers, "You're not alone." Someone lost and hurting turns on the radio. First song feels like it was written for them. You take a different route home and avoid trouble, then meet a chance that changes your path. Not random. The quantum field is arranging possibilities to match your frequency. Back to the video game image. Glowing arrows, helpful NPCs, a treasure appearing right on cue. Synchronicities are your cosmic breadcrumbs, proof you're on the path. In quantum physics, no event is fully isolated. Entanglement means a change, here, echoes. There, even far away. Likewise, you are not separate from the universe. Shift your inner frequency, through belief, attention, and state, and the universe responds with synchronicity. It's the observer playing with you in this reality. Each synchronicity says, "Keep going, you're on track. Listen, you're being guided. Trust, you're not alone." Open to them, and life stops being random. It becomes a conversation with the universe. Now, what happens when you take one more step? When the observer stops being a distant witness and becomes you? This is the shift from witnessing to embodying. We often imagine the observer as a silent onlooker. But what if the truth is, the observer isn't just watching you live? The observer is the one living as you? In deep meditation, the border between me and the observer dissolves. In that instant, you're not just witnessing life. You're embodying it. The observer isn't a second person inside you. It's consciousness itself, seeing through your eyes, beating your heart, flowing with every breath. When you laugh, cry, love, or ache, it isn't just you. It is the observer becoming those experiences. Moments give it away. You look at a flower, and the line between you and it disappears. You hear music and it feels like the sound is living inside you. You hug someone you love and the labels, me and them, fall away, only love remains. That's when the observer stops standing apart and stands up as you. Back to the ocean and the wave. At first, the wave believes, I'm separate. The ocean is just watching me. Then it realizes, in this very moment, I am the ocean, appearing as a wave. You aren't simply observed. You are the universe, embodied as the person called you. In quantum physics, particles don't exist independently. They become real when observed. In spirituality, the ego doesn't exist independently. It only appears because the observer is present. When these truths meet, you realize there's no gap between you and the observer. You are it. And then the old fears, I'm not enough, I'm alone, I'm a failure, begin to melt. You're not a minor character in this film. You're the screenwriter, the projector's light, the life force exploring itself in countless forms. When you truly recognize yourself as the embodied observer, you enter awakening. A state where pain, success, and the entire journey become a cosmic play in the gaze of the infinite. What if your real purpose isn't to become someone, but to remember who you already are? Awakening isn't fireworks in the sky. It's the quiet click of a simple truth. I am not this body. I am not looping thoughts. I am not society's roles. I am the observer. I am pure awareness. I am the universe experiencing itself through this form. You sit in a storm of emotion. Usually it sweeps you away. But suddenly you pause and whisper, I'm observing this. The storm eases. You look into someone's eyes and feel something beyond both of you. A deep stillness, a unity. That is the observer, one, not two. Imagine forgetting you're an actor in a play. You get completely lost in the role, crying, laughing, suffering. Then, for one clear moment you remember, oh, this is a role. Who I am stands behind the curtain. That's awakening. Not escaping life. Realizing life is a dance of consciousness. Science says, the observer shapes reality. Spirituality says, the observer is you. When these meet, awakening happens. You see that life isn't happening to you, or against you. It's happening from within you. All the pain, the crises, the moments you thought would break you, they were never the end. They were how the observer experienced itself, so that eventually, you'd remember. You are not merely human. You are eternal awareness choosing to be human. This isn't just a pretty idea to hear and forget. You can experience it directly, in daily life. Let's practice. Simple steps to feel the observer right now. Hearing ideas is one thing. Experiencing truth is another. Try these two practices, right here, right now. Practice 1. 2 minutes to watch your thoughts. Sit still. Close your eyes. Take a slow breath. Don't try to stop thoughts. Watch them like you watch the sky. When a thought comes, note. A thought. When it goes, simply notice, no chasing. Imagine thoughts as clouds. They can be thick, but the sky, the observer, is wide and clear. After 2 minutes, you'll sense it. You are not the thoughts. You are the one who observes them. Practice 2. The Observer Journal. Each night, write 1 page answering. Today, when did I simply observe instead of getting swept away? Be specific. Maybe it was the moment anger rose and you paused to notice it. After 7 days, read back. You'll see less identification with the mind, and more living as the observer. This recodes your awareness, bringing awakening into everyday life. Remember, these practices aren't about escaping life. They let you live it more freely. No more being a slave to thoughts. No more being tugged by every emotion. You begin to live from the observer, calm, clear, free. Practice daily, and the truth grows brighter. The observer isn't just watching you. The observer is you. This is the awakening that quantum science and spiritual wisdom have both been pointing toward. We've traveled a full arc. From the observer effect in physics to the observer within spirituality. Through everyday signs and synchronicities, to the realization that the observer isn't outside you. It is living as you. You are not a tiny person trying to survive a foreign universe. You are the universe. You are consciousness. You are the observer, embodied as the life called you. Remember this. Wherever you are, whatever you're facing, whatever pain or longing you carry, the deepest part of you has never been hurt. That part is always free, always clear, always deathless. That is the real you. Live from there, and life stops being a string of trials. It becomes a spiritual adventure where the universe contemplates itself through you. If today's message touched you, don't let it slip by. Like, share, and subscribe to Quantum Energy Shift, and join us each week for another step on this path. And don't miss the next video, where we'll explore how to raise your frequency and connect more directly with the observer. Tonight, go to bed with one simple thought. I am not only this body. I am the light shining through this body. And remember, when you observe, you become. And when you become, the universe observes through you.